Hi, my name is Melanie, and today we're going to be talking about some of the eye gaze skills that can be developed using Look Lab activities. Look Lab really promotes multiple types of eye gaze skills. There's 12 in total, and these include exploration, cause and effect, dwelling, choice making, tracking, sustained attention, precision, reactions, memory, horizontal control, vertical control, and problem solving. Today, we're just going to look at a few of these skills and how we might use Look Lab in order to work on that skill and which activities might work best for that. So, the first one that we're going to look at is cause and effect. And these are activities where users can see the impact of their actions immediately. So, there's no wait time. So we're going to go into mindfulness. We're going to go into fish pond for this particular skill. And what I love about this is that they're right away, as the user starts moving around, and starts looking around at different things. We touch a fish and something happens. The fish moves. If we do happen to stop in one particular location, we'll notice that we don't have to necessarily dwell a very long time, but food will happen to fall down for the fish. And so very quickly we can learn that just by looking at something, we can make something happen. And even if we pause, we can make something happen. So this is a really great way to build that cause and effect skill. The next one that we might want to work on might be dwelling. So these are activities that require the user to fix their gaze on a target to make a selection. When we think about transferring this skill over to using it with communication, when we are making a selection in order to communicate, we typically have to dwell on that target in order for it to activate. So we may need to teach that skill. So in order to do this, we're going to go over to challenge, and we're going to look at the game Leapfrog. So when we go into here, the goal of this is to move around and catch the stars. But in order to do that, in order to get the frog to move, we have to dwell in a location for a period of time. So as we dwell there, now as I dwell on that particular star, I can get the frog to move where I need it to go. So this is a really great way to build that skill of dwell. The next skill that we may want to work on is choice making. So these are activities that allow the user to choose between options according to their preference. So for this one, we're going to go into creative and go into beatbox. I'm actually going to use the easy mode on this particular activity just because it has a little bit fewer cells on it. So we can kind of see what we can do with it really easily. So I'm going to stop this one. And then now I can choose by looking at different boxes. I can choose different things and different sounds. So now I can see what that's going to sound like. I don't like that one. So I'm going to stop again. And maybe I'm going to take out a couple of these. And maybe I want to put this one in more often. So let's see what that looks like. So I can make different choices and see what that sounds like. I'm not going to say I'm really great at coming up with some of the beatboxes on there, but it's a really fun activity to work on that choice making skill. The next eye gaze skill is tracking. So these are activities that require the user to look at one or more objects on the screen and follow them with their eyes. So for this one, we're going to go into fun. And we're going to go over to stargaze. And I really like this one because it really builds on itself. So right at the beginning, here there's not tons of tracking because the stars aren't moving a whole lot. I just have to kind of move around the screen and hit the different stars. I'm going to get all of them here. But now this next level, we'll notice that the stars start to move a little bit more. And so we have to follow them with our eyes because they're moving around the screen. And here they start to move even further, so I have to track even a little bit more in order to keep up. So that's a really great way to work on that skill of tracking. And the next one is sustained attention. So these are activities that require the user to focus on certain areas of the screen with no distraction from other areas. So I'm going to go into challenge here and go into Crawly Cruncher. And here we have to kind of guide the caterpillar around to get the stars. And what I like about this is, you know, we really have to continue to look at the screen and move around. This transfers really nicely if we're thinking about how we may want to compose a longer message. We have to kind of look at the screen for a longer period of time. Or also if we're using maybe our device to be able to navigate with our wheelchair and using software to do that. We may need to have that sustained attention on the screen in order to make that happen. So this is a great way to work on that skill of sustained attention. The last one that we're going to look at is precision. So these are activities that require the user to display a high level of precise eye gaze skills to achieve success. And one of my favorite ones for this is color in. So we're going to go in here. And this is basically, we get to color in different pictures. So you can see we can choose something that has really big sections, or we can choose something that has some smaller sections. I'm going to choose this particular one just because I want to show you that there are times where we may need to have really fine accuracy in order to make the correct, or not necessarily correct, but to get what we want to have happen. So in order to get to that very small piece, I have to have really fine precision with my eye gaze in order to get those. So color in, you can have something that starts a little bit bigger, but then you can move to something that has those smaller pieces to it, which allows you to work on that precision skill. So those are just a few of the different skills that are available to develop within Look Lab. If you're ever wondering, what is this activity good for? You can go into the activity, and then it actually tells you which type of skill that you could work on with that particular activity. So have fun with Look Lab and learning how to build those eye gaze skills. Thanks so much for joining.